What's up, everybody? What's up? Welcome to the MrStraightFacts show. Now, let's get into this. First off, I want to send up prayers, continued prayers for my mom. She had a stroke. We talked about this last show. I'm going to keep on doing every show because I love my mother. And I want to send out prayers for her as she recovers from having a stroke. Um, Things are a little shaky, but it's hard when you're young to get back from a stroke. When you're older, it's even more tough. So we just got to keep her in her prayers. I keep calling her and talking to her. And she's getting better rehab. She's already in rehab. So thank God for that. All right. Let's get to the news of the day. It is a continuation of what happened on Friday. And that was Donald Trump and his sidekick, J.D. Vance, going in on Vladimir Zelensky and then kicking him out of the White House very disrespectfully. You guys know how heated I was about that because disrespect, especially when it's based on lies, is not something that I stand for. When you listen to what J.D. Vance said about Zelensky, none of it was true. He brought up something about propaganda tours. Where did he hear that from? Right-wing media. And they lie all the time. All the time. So, you didn't want to listen to the man who was going through the war. The president of the country that's going through the war. Now, the thing that gets me is this. I believe Donald Trump is a punk, right? And the idea that if America was in a war, Donald Trump would be hidden in a bunker so deep, he would never come back up. They'd have to pry him from whatever bunker he's in. Remember, when it was just regular protesters at the White House, this man went to his bunker. Not a weapon shot, not a life threatened, nothing. He was just scared that so many people that didn't like him, so he ran. So you understand Mr. Bone Spurs wasn't about to be in no war. And then to see Vladimir Zelensky literally walking alongside his men who were fighting and in military gear, leading his country, not in a three-piece suit, hanging out, chilling, eating shrimp and shit at some crazy golf course or some shit. No, this man was literally near the front lines, touring around the areas. They've had multiple attempts on his life. You're talking about a man versus a punk. Man being Vladimir Zelensky, and a punk meaning Donald Trump and his side punk, J.D. Vance. This man comes in military gear to support his troops. What does it look like? You walking around in a nice suit and they're out there fighting and you're around going and doing this, can you help us tour? Do you really think this man loves going around begging people for money? I don't know any human being that loves doing that. To have to go around every country and grovel and say, thank you, thank you, thank you, over and over again. And when you start to learn what this country went through, it just might piss you off that he has to go around and say thank you to these people. I'm going to give you some insight as to what Ukraine actually went through and how what Donald Trump and J.D. Vance did was highly horrific. You know why? They don't know the history of what happened. And if they do know, they extra evil. Point blank, period. Now, Vladimir Zelensky goes, to European countries, and all the leaders there are giving him mad hugs and love, actually showing that Donald Trump is a dipshit. Yeah. And J.D. Vance is that side dipshit. All the other countries are like, wait a minute. We're not on America's side on this. And from what was told throughout the media today, Donald Trump wasn't happy for the fact that he met with the the king. And so it's insane how this man is so soft skinned. And we'll talk about later how, we as Americans, we need to figure out a strategy because it doesn't seem like Democrats and damn sure Republicans have no freaking clue how to defeat this man. And we need to do something to defeat him. I don't know what it is, but I got some ideas later. All in the up and up. I ain't trying to do nothing crazy. I'm just saying we as citizens need to figure out something because our leaders suck. And now they're going to talk about some stuff later about that. But without all this going on, Vladimir Zelensky literally said, I think, this is his quote, I quote, I think our relationship with the United States will continue because it's more than an occasional relationship. All right. Also said, an agreement to end the war is still very, very far away. Of course. I mean, during that interview, all this man said, that presser with Zelensky and everybody else, all this man said literally was, I'm at war. I'm a war president. What we do keeps all the crime and craziness on the other side of the river, side of the ocean, it keeps it away from y'all. But if we fall and other people fall, you're going to have to feel it because why? Because of the fact is, if they fall, Putin has already told you, if you listen to this man over the decades, he's not stopping with Ukraine. Took Crimea, Ukraine, he's trying to go for it fully. Then he's going to go for other places like Poland. They're in a treaty with us. We have to fight. We have to put boots on the ground. World War III starts. So this is the idea of Donald Trump. Oh, Ukraine, if you don't do what we're telling you to do, World War III, you're gonna start World War III. No, idiot. If they do not win World War III, because you know for a fact who's gonna start World War III if they don't start it? Putin. It only makes sense. Who else is gonna start it? Poland? It makes zero sense what he says. Yet you got so many Americans out here believing in what he says. It's insane. Now, based off of what Donald Trump has done, not only do we look like on the rest of the world stage like a bunch of idiots, right? With all the other presidents and leaders of other countries looking down on America for what we did. Now they have to, and they vowed to basically up their amount of money that they're going to help them with, and whatever they got, weapons, whatever it may be, they vowed to try and fix whatever America has lacked. Then one of the countries that Donald Trump loved before, when he talked about there were shithole African countries. Why don't we have, people coming from other countries? When he was talking about white countries, why don't they come from other countries like Norway, Sweden, and all that stuff like that? Well, ladies and gentlemen, a Norway company today came out, and let me get the exact name of it because I haven't heard of this company before. But the name of this company is Hattbakk, Hattbakk bunkers. They have demonstrated support for Ukraine, and they're asking for all European countries or surrounding them to no longer provide fuel for the U.S. Navy vessels that are in their area. Now, Norway itself, the country, came out and said, well, we will do it. But this company right here is one of the largest companies in Norway. So they may do it for a while. If this company doesn't come back, it ain't like they're going to be able to continue to do it for decades upon decades without this large company doing it. And hopefully other countries back them up. The only way you get things done is when you force it to be done. Now, if they start doing that throughout the United States, throughout the world, United States is going to have to capitulate to some things because we can't afford that to happen. Donald Trump destroying our military with these stupid ideas and messing with other countries. Now, a lot of people say, like, why would we help, Zelensky? Some people in this country who have no idea But here's the thing. Most of us, and I'm going to read these things verbatim so that we can have, again, I'm with the facts. So I want to know. I had already done some research a while back ago, but I wanted to make sure that everybody got the exact facts like I got them and not off the top of the dome. But let's just give it in gist that when I told you earlier, I don't understand why Vladimir Zelensky is going around saying all these, like on this, not necessarily apology tour, but on this like thank you tours all the time and asking for more money. It's being respectful. I get that. But what Donald Trump either doesn't know and there's also J.D. Vance don't know, is that in all honesty, they don't owe you a thank you. They don't. Think about this for a second. You are let's say you're a parent, right? And you have a child. And you do what you're supposed to do by raising that child. Now that child can say thank you. Thank you, Dad. Thank you, Mom, for raising me and doing this and doing that. But you don't deserve a thank you because that was your responsibility. That child didn't lay down and make itself. That was your job to do. Giving you a thank you for doing your job, it's nice, but it's not warranted. Now, in this situation, I understand you say, oh, we're not their parent. No, we're not. But you know what we are? In 1994, we signed a memorandum with them of assurances. It was called the Budapest Memorandum on Security Assurances, 1994. That means we told them that we were going to protect them, and we signed this. Now, here's the thing. We're going to go through it. So Ukraine gave up its nuclear weapons in exchange for security assurances from the United States, Russia, and United Kingdom under this Budapest Memorandum on Security Assurances in 1994. Now, this memorandum stated that in return for Ukraine surrendering, now check this shit out, it surrendered the third largest, not down to 15, 20, or 50 or 100. No, the third largest nuclear arsenal in the world at the time was in Ukraine. They surrendered that. On the signature, they signed on this. Russia, U.S., and the U.K. That they would respect, the deal was that they would respect Ukraine's sovereignty, them being their own country, borders, and independence, and that no signatory would use or threaten force against Ukraine. This thing signed says that Ukraine, U.S., or U.K. would never threaten or force anything against Ukraine. Out of the three people who signed that, the UK, as you saw today, backed them 100%. They all came out and hugged this man like, they hadn't seen him in years and he was a family member. Because they stood on principle. They said something they was going to do, they're doing it. Russia said it wasn't going to do anything, and then they did what? They're the ones who attacked them. You think they would have been able to attack Ukraine if it had its nukes? No. So they weakened themselves in a pact to literally say, we'll give them up. You guys don't fuck with us, we're good. And instead, what are they doing? Fucking with them. In America, the third party in saying that we would never do anything against you, they, with Donald Trump and J.D. Vance and all the Republicans, are saying basically fuck you to Ukraine and siding with Russia. In Russia right now, they're excited. They even came out in Russian state media saying that their policies, their international policies, our America is now aligned with their ideology. This is what they're saying in that country. And in America, anybody outside of being a Republican can fucking see that. This man never says anything bad about Putin. Never. Says he threw sanctions on him. You were forced to throw sanctions on him. You didn't even want to do it. You never say anything cross about the man. You won't even say the man lies. You won't even say he's a dictator, even though he's been one forever. You call Vladimir Zelensky a dictator. The country that gave up its nukes is the country our president is stabbing in the back. It is, at this moment, it sucks to be in the country, to be an American who would support a president who reneged on our promise to a country for its own sovereignty. They gave up the weapons because we asked them to. They gave up their weapons because we asked them to. And once they did, in 1994, here we are in 2025. What, 30 years later or whatever it is. And we are reneging on it. Giving them these weapons, America, when these Americans said we don't gave them too much money, I'm sorry. There's no such thing as giving them too much money. You made a pact with them. You made a deal with them. Had you stopped them, then we wouldn't be in this situation, would we? No. And this doesn't say, just Donald Trump. Under President Obama, they took Crimea. So we got to look at this country, man. We are reneging on shit that we say we're going to do. And what is the purpose of being a country that everybody supposedly respects and reneging on everything? Nobody should trust us. Would you trust a friend of yours that told you they're going to do something every time and then turn around? They did the opposite. When you needed them, they weren't there. And then in this situation, Donald Trump wants this man to grovel. If anything, America should be apologizing for letting this shit happen to them. We're the ones that allowed this shit to happen. Because if they had their nukes, Russia would be in trouble right now. They would not feel emboldened to do what they're doing. It would be an all-out nuke war over there. It's just insane. They're putting this entire country in what it is. And what's getting me upset a lot is the news media is not forcing this information out there. They should be, every news station today should have came out with that being the first thing. And they talked about Vladimir Zelensky and how Europeans are treating him and everything like that. But they have not talked about the Budapest memorandum. I was looking throughout the day trying to find anybody talking about that. Maybe I missed it, but I didn't see them on it. And it ain't something that's a flyby. It should not be something that, we just said today and we leave. No, that should be every time Trump steps up. They should be, well, what about the Budapest memorandum? They gave up their third largest nukes. So we were number one in nukes. I believe Russia was number two. So Ukraine was number three, which means they had a superpower, almost like a superpower, because nobody was going to fuck with somebody who had that many nukes, way more than every other country out of the top three. Now, I don't know why, because I haven't dug deep, and I will do that. They made that deal. I don't know why. I don't know all the details around it. I just know that it was a thing. And Russia blatantly violated that agreement, the Budapest Memorandum Agreement, when it invaded Crimea in 2014. Again, that was on Obama's watch. I was against it then. I don't understand why they allowed that to happen. But again, for some reason, we don't want to get into a war again. with Russia. But what appears to me is that Russia has no problem pushing us to the ledge. We're like the boy who cried wolf. We'll tell you to stop doing some shit, but then all of a sudden you do it, be like, all right, don't do it again. But okay. Then they do it again. Then America's like, oh, don't do it again. When you going to step up, America, and stop some shit? Because you can't look strong if you're always capitulating, especially in Donald Trump's way of with Putin. Now, I don't understand why Obama didn't do anything. I got to go back and look at that. I just knew that that happened at the time. I didn't like it, but I don't know. I had an idea that it had something to do with the government, not necessarily Obama. It had to do something with the House and the Senate, because everything was working like an actual government in which the House and the Senate made a decision. Then the president actually made the decision afterwards, whatever came to across his desk, whether to veto it or sign it. But I'll go back into that, so I don't really know. But I do know it happened under his watch, Crimea. And Donald Trump literally said in this meeting, there was no wars going on when I was going through what I was going. No, they started to come on to, excuse me, they invaded Ukraine 2019. That's what Vladimir was saying. He's like, this has been going on since 2014. So yeah, Trump, we were going through shit while you was president. But he didn't like that being fact-checked in front of everybody. We got to understand something here. Donald Trump is weak. All you got to do, excuse me, for him is to call him out and make him look weak. Then he starts freaking out. I don't know why the Dems don't quite understand this. Go at him. You know how Donald Trump likes to have a blitz of information? He'll sign 300 fucking executive orders and everybody's chasing him. Reporters are chasing each fucking order. When you're chasing all 300, he's over here doing something dirty behind the scenes that you're so focused on all this other shit that he knows most of the courts are going to overturn or he's going to have lawsuits, but the shit that flies by is the one that he really wants. He does that all the time. He's been doing it forever. What Dems have not learned is that a person who's built a strategy like that has had a think tank behind him, spent millions on something like that. Then to be able to defeat him, you got to play his game. Dems, you need to dig into his ass hard. Every time you open your mouth, disrespect him. I don't care what you got to say about him. His breath stink. I don't care what you got to say. His diaper. Tell what the truth is about this man. If he stinks, then come out and say he smells like burnt rubber and tar. That's what he smells like. He's got fake hair. He's got this. His orange makeup stinks. I don't care what it is. Keep going in the media. Hit him over and over and over. He won't be able to handle it or talk about everything, but it will drive him fucking crazy. And I'm going to give another strategy later on what I think they should do, because coming up is the joint address to Congress on Tuesday, tomorrow. I don't know if I'm going to go live with it or not. I don't know if it's going to be a clean feed of it. I don't want to be airing somebody else's station, because on YouTube, sometimes they kind of ban that for some reason on some things. It's been a hit and a miss for me. I've done it before. I did like the election and it was all good. And then I think somebody played a song or something like that, and then they just canceled it out. So we'll see. So I might do that. So we're going to, when you break it down with Ukraine, Donald Trump, JD Vance were way out of pocket. Oh, boy, I ain't gonna finish with this. I gotta say something about this. Marjorie Taylor Greene's boyfriend, who is not a real journalist, in his little whack ass suit that he got from Zara, right? This man comes out and says, why aren't you wearing a suit? Could somebody tell him his girlfriend looks like Ric Flair? Okay? Why are you going to bed with somebody who looks like a man and got jacked up toes? The hell are you talking about? Had you done any research on this man, you'd realize that ever since the war came out or started, this man has been wearing fatigues. He's been wearing all this stuff. Why? Almost every president, even American presidents, when our country was at war, they were not wearing three-piece suits. They were wearing military gear in solidarity with the men, and at that time, mostly men, but let's say men and women who put their lives on the line. I'm not going to be home all dressed up in a tuxedo while they're out there dying for our country. It was in solidarity, and he still does it. No other country had a problem with it. And our country sat there and laughed at a war president. And it kills me how they can't put themselves in a position. If we were at war and shit was going crazy, if our president wasn't doing anything, just sitting around, I mean, they are a smaller country where their president is boots on the ground. It's admirable. And they try to make it seem as though something was disrespectful for this man fighting for his country, having to go around and beg the people who should be doing this anyway because you made an agreement and you reneged on it. Not one of our lives went over there to protect him. And when Zelensky said, I've been doing this, we've been fighting this war by ourselves, that is the true history of what he's talking about. They signed this memorandum. This memorandum did not necessarily assure that we were going to fight like we would if we was in NATO. But we didn't hold up our end of the agreement. Because it wasn't like a binding military defense treaty like NATO, the Article 5. But we did say that we were going to protect them, that we was going to impose sanctions and send military aid. We did nothing to stop Russia. And this country is fighting it by themselves. And if they lose, we are unsafe. So the least we can do is give them money. Seeing as how strategically we ain't doing nothing else. And we had them give up their nukes, which they wouldn't even need our weapons if they were able to keep their own and not sign this agreement with Russia, US, and the UK. The only group that is keeping their promise is the UK. United States, backstabbers. Russia, evil bastards. How are we on the side of the backstabber? How us backstabbing on the side of those evil bastards? They are not our best friends. Putin has been saying for decades, I remember back in the 90s, that he wanted the Soviet Union back. Every time Putin made a deal, even with us, he always reneged on it. That is his style. So much so that the Republicans hated Hillary Clinton and all the and all the Clintons so much that when Hillary Clinton was like the Secretary of State, whatever, and she made a deal, whatever, and shook the hands of Putin or whatever, and Putin agreed on something and then he reneged on it, Republicans laughed at that. And I'm like, how are you on the side of the country that fucked America over and you call yourself a patriot? The thing about this country that frightens me is that we've fallen into this abyss of ignorance, of not knowing our history. And that's not good. None whatsoever. It's not good that we don't know our history. If we knew our history, we would know, look, we got to stand 10 toes down with people who literally did exactly what we said to do, and it hurt their own safety, their own sovereignty, because they believed in America. And here we are bitching about giving them money 30 years later. That agreement still is intact. And we're reneging on it. Anyway, that's just insane. So you guys notice, I don't know if you do or not, if you have stocks at all, but the Dow fell 650 points today. And we have tariffs, 25% tariffs on Canada and Mexico are supposed to start midnight tonight. So it's 5:46 or 44 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So in less than, in 6 hours and like 16 minutes, 25% tariffs. Have you guys noticed the prices of nothing have went down? How long is it going to take for these tariffs to be in place before everything skyrockets? It's already risen because of the fact that, again, anticipation of a tariff, people start rising in the prices little by little. But once they hit, that's when they just go astronomical. These businesses will price gouge because they got a president that only cares about profits, not people. They're not going to fight for you. Whatever it gets to, they're like, you can add 20%. Go ahead, try it. See it, they'll buy it. That president, Donald Trump, will not fight for you. Not at all. And so I can understand why things are falling. I mean, I don't know everything about it. Of course, I'm not a stock person, but you got to understand human behavior. They know this tariff is about to happen. They know a lot of things are in play. Other countries are starting to like pull out of deals with us, not offering us fuel, thinking about boycotting us in many ways. And here's another thing that's coming down the pike. Like, again, I'm a part of it. I'm not like the creator of it at all. I'm just participating of the Target fast and other companies. I'm telling you right now, for these companies that support like Fox, I got to go watch Fox for like an hour. And every commercial that pops up on Fox, I'm no longer buying it. I'm no longer buying it. I am done with it. Because I don't want any company that supports propaganda, lies. I don't want to buy shit from you. None whatsoever. I don't want no parts of it. Because it makes no sense that you would literally promote some people an organization that lies incessantly. $747 million of lying. Before that, there was multiple $20 million, $8 million, $6 million, sexual assaults and all these type of things with all these different people there when Roger Ailes was the head of it, all over the place. And you just continue putting your ads on there? No, I'm done with that. No, thank you. No more. I'm not doing that. There's no reason for that. Why would you do it? So I'm going to start watching and start taking note. I can't stand Fox. I'm going to tell you that 1,000%. Because, I mean, it's like live from the beginning of the show all the way to the end. You find like a half-truth in there. You be like, wow. So, but I will be sitting there with the audio down. As soon as the commercials hit, bow, I'm on it. Writing that one down. And I will be reporting it. I'm done. And this is the thing. I'm not a wishy-washy dude. So if I tell you I'm going to stop using something, that shit's gone. And I don't even know if I'm going to come back to most of these companies. Because to me, it's like, look, why would I give you money when I know that your default is fuckery? I got to force you to do good shit. At that point, it's like, you know what? That business needs to fail. Somebody else needs to start another business, and then I'll start buying it from them. But there are things that are necessities, I get it. But the things that aren't necessities, or even if they are, I'm looking for other places. But aren't necessity, damn well I'm not going. I'm not going back to Target ever. I don't care. You guys love Target, anything like that. You used to shop there a lot. I shop there, but I'm not going back there ever. I don't need it that bad that I'm willing to mess up the morals that I believe in just because I want to get, a TV for whatever, or go get the makeup somebody wants, or go get whatever. I can get it somewhere else. I can buy it overseas. I don't care. I'm done with that. The power that we have as a people is the dollar. We can scream all day long and call our senators and congresswomen and men, and that's a wishy-washy thing. I don't know about you, but I've been bitching and moaning to politicians throughout my life. And I would say 9 times out of 10, nothing happened but me blowing off some smoke. That's just me. Maybe your congressmen and women were effective in that process. But yeah, it's been insane. It's been insane. But I support Ukraine. Sorry, Ukrainians, that you guys are going through. Again, I don't know Ukraine. I'm not supporting you individually because I don't know. Ukraine could be one of the racist countries in the world. I have no clue. I'm not saying you are. I didn't call you that. I'm just talking about on principle. If I made a deal with you, I need to keep that fucking deal. Unless we renegotiate and have another deal. But I am a person that if I sign something with you and I say I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. I'm going to have my deliverables. I'm not going to sit there and do less and ask you to keep paying me. I'm not going to renege and then ask you to say thank you because I'm stronger and I have more money than you. There's a certain thing just having respect and having morality. You don't have any morals. But once you show me that, I'll show you my ass because I'm going to turn the opposite way and walk away from you. It is over for you and me, period. We ain't going to talk. We ain't going to hang out. As far as I'm concerned, you died at that 1 second. That's the way I roll. I ain't going to give you 3 chances to tell me you a piece of shit. You can tell me that once, and I'll listen. Now, these tariffs, 25%. I went and looked at eggs the other day. Now, I was looking for, different ones, organic ones and regular. I was just trying to see what the price range was. And it ranged from, and I'm in California, so it ranged from, in Southern California, that is, in Los Angeles, for a dozen, anywhere between, I think it was $6.99 up to $15.99. Now, mind you, during COVID, I used to get them for $3.99. And you remember in COVID, they had some kind of egg issue back then. I think some kind of bird flu or something happened. And, certain stores didn't have them for a long time. But when they came back, it was $3.99. I haven't seen $3.99 eggs in California since then. I've seen them at, $15.99 for a dozen. I'm saying, like, is that a dozen and a half? No, a dozen. Now, you think with tariffs being added, you think these going to go down or go up? Of course they're going to go up. But I'm trying to find out, what has Donald Trump put into place that is supposed to bring the prices down? He's raising everything up. I'm trying to figure out, what is he doing? He's been in for what, 40-something days now? Seems like the longest 40 days in a lot. I promise you, it seems like this fool's been in a year. And these egg prices are up. I went to go check out like bacon. Bacon went up big time. This country, it trips me out because I'm 54. And I literally went the other day, excuse me, to just grab some snacks, just hang out, stuff like that. Went to a store, like some chips or something like that, and something to eat. And I promise you, these little bags of chips, whatever, used to be almost full. These things are like $3 for like like almost like a snack bag of chips, right? Filled with like 98% air. I'm like, what the? You're charging what used to, and I ain't talking about a long time ago, like when I was 12 or 15 and shit. What used to cost like, you know, $2.99 for a bag of like large size chips. Those bitches are like $9, $6, $6.99 certain places. Doritos, $6.99. I'm like, the fuck? What is this? But at least for them, the bigger bags when I open up, they're full. That for at least for me, I've seen it. But these smaller bags, like 8 chips in them, and they're charging you $3, $2.69. I'm like, this is insane, and it's only gonna get worse because there's nothing in place to cut that down. This 25% tariffs. My ex family were farmers, still are, and they voted for this nitwit. And I didn't get to talk to them. But with the person who told me about this, I said, didn't they realize that Donald Trump did that the last time? And the farmers were going broke? They're about to close down their farms. Some of them actually closed down. Didn't they realize that putting on tariffs like they did before, I think it was a 20 or 25% tariff before, we had to literally take a fund of so many hundreds of billions of dollars so that we could support them, give them subsidy, basically financial aid or welfare, as you may say it, so that they can continue moving forward. But the shit they went through before those dollars came into their pockets was stressful as hell. Now, either these people are stupid or they like getting welfare. They think Donald Trump's going to give them a lot of money. Pretty much like when you saw these people, ignorant ass people were talking about, I'm going to get a stimmy. Either that, the farmers are thinking that this little money they're going to get is more than if everything just played itself out and he didn't have these tariffs. Because I can understand how you would vote for your own demise after you done seen it happen before. And then he promises he's going to do it again, and you still vote for the person who put you through hell years ago. I don't get it. I don't get it. Today, Warren Buffett, my man is like 90-some years old now, like 94 or something like that. I'm like, wow. And just to see him, talking, he did on a Sunday show about something else totally different, but he was asked, I think it was Nora O'Donnell, something like that, asked him at the end of her show, she asked him, what do you think about these tariffs? He said, tariffs are an act of war, quote unquote. They're an act of war. He said it tongue in cheek, but he continued to go on, says she asked him about the prices of things. He's like, everything's going to go up. It's going to cost more. So he started going, he kind of like said that in a sense that, it's going to get more every year, every decade and further and further. So he's talking about that this is going to hurt basically Americans and the price is going to go up. I mean, it doesn't take a Warren Buffett to know that shit. We knew it was going to happen. Anybody who understood how tariffs work. And I don't understand how these people had no idea. No matter how many times you told them how tariffs work. I don't know if you guys saw the videos where some of these news groups that would go out and interview some of these MAGA nuts, they would go out there and ask them a question about tariffs. And this one dude, I remember, he said he had a business. He was a businessman, right? He's kind of young. I don't know what, I would say young, probably like 30s, whatever. But he said he had, a business and everything like that. And so they asked him, the tariffs, we pay those, right? He said, no. It's going to make us some money. So then the dude came out and said, I want to say it was Jolly Ginger on TikTok. He came out and he said, so let me speak to you for a hot second. So you own a business? Like, yeah, right. Okay. So when you buy your product that you're going to sell to your customer, when you buy that product, who pays the tariffs? And he said, I think he said something about the other country. He said, no. When they raise the prices because they have these tariffs, who's going to pay the most for it? And then he's like, if it was $10, now you got to pay 12. You're paying $12 for it. He said, okay. He said, all right. So are you going to still sell them the same price? He said, no, you got to raise the price up. You couldn't have figured that shit out on your own before you voted for this Nimrod? That if it costs you more, you're going to charge more? Therefore, the money's passed over to the customer? I mean, you weren't going to take the hit, were you? Of course not. Then 1 + 1 = 2 in 9/11. It's insane that you had to walk them through this. Grown ass people, you got to walk them through simple shit. I mean, simple shit. It's insane. These farmers are going to hurt. And when these farmers hurt, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? The prices of food is going to skyrocket. And everybody wonders, again, they talk about, oh yeah, we just buy this, whatever, in bulk, whatever it may be. And I'm like, you're gonna spend a lot of money, more money for food, but you're gonna do more than that. You got to understand something. A lot of people's sanity, they usually kind of like, want to get out of the house and go out and eat every once in a while, experience life, go to a nice restaurant, get a nice steak or whatever it is, a salad, whatever you like. So you're going to want to not cook sometimes and go out. These tariffs are going to raise up to the point where the eggs may go up. If it's like $6.99 now, the eggs may go up to $10.99 on average on days when it's kind of a little bit less eggs, but due to some bird flu, whatever, it'll be $15 or $18.99. But do you guys know at this moment, right? At this particular moment, before the tariffs even hit, I don't know about any other state. I'm going to tell you about what a friend of mine, Cecilia, told me about her going out to dinner with her husband, or breakfast with her husband here in LA. They go to a restaurant all the time. They order the same meal. And when they order that meal, her husband always orders an extra egg with it. Normal. So he just did it without looking at the prices because they always go to the same spot. He orders the same thing, right? So he eats his meal, and then he comes to a check, and it's like, whoa, what is this? That one egg was $10.99. Extra egg, $10.99. This wasn't like no high-end restaurant. So what most people don't even calculate in is that you may go to the store and get the eggs, and they may have went up a couple dollars for a dozen, $3, $4. But that shit's going to skyrocket if you eat out. This nice place, but not expensive place, charged the $10.99 for one egg, an extra egg. You think that's not going to happen. The price of steak is going to go up. The price of chicken is going to go up. Every time you go out, it's going to be highly expensive at just regular ass restaurants. It already is at this moment. What is it going to be after the tariffs? $15 for that one egg? It's insane, y'all. It's insane. Crack egg, peel the egg, say with it. Yeah. So I don't know what's going to happen, but I know for me, I'm like, yo, I'm sitting at home. I ain't got to do nothing. I work most of the time anyway. I'll get my food and I'll be good. I'll just pay more for it, but I'm not going to be going out spending $10.99 for an egg. They insane. I'll be like, yo, I brought some eggs. I need you to cook these up for me. Here you go. I brought a few more eggs. Just go up there and cook me up something real quick. That's pretty messed up. But it's true, though. It's true. I end up doing that. So, but that's what's happening. Now, I want to get into tomorrow, Tuesday. Now, I'm going to tune in and watch this joint address. I know it's going to be insane. There's really nothing that this man has to say that I really want to hear. But I've been watching throughout the day Democrats talking about it. They've been in interviews throughout the day. And, not talking about any specific one, because they all kind of have, this is one thing I don't like about politicians, is that, I understand we got to be in any particular situation, you got to be on the same team, so to speak. I don't mind you voting the same way. My problem is when you guys got the same talking points. Stop it. I don't need to hear 455 people say the exact same damn thing. I know each one of y'all have some kind of, I don't like this part, I don't like that part. Be real. That solidarity thing, yeah, I'm a vote, but I don't believe this and I don't believe that. I want to hear that. I don't want to hear this fall in line stuff, because that to me sounds like you guys just made up a plan, and even if you're going against it, you're going to vote against it. I don't need to send a robot to the White House or to to Congress. If I voted for you as a senator or as a congresswoman or man, I don't want you falling in line. I want you to represent your particular community. And if you have to vote against it, you better offer some concessions to your community instead of sitting there going against what your community needs. Not at all. I'd rather see you dissent. That way I know you have my back. But no, I don't like that. But they came out and they talked about, whether they're going to attend or not. Now, this is their protest of attending or not attending. And then some of them said they're going to bring these people who have gotten fired or lost something. I don't know if they're going to be Republicans. I don't know but it's going to be federal employees. They're going to bring them along with them as some kind of dissent. You know what I'm saying? To show some kind of we're for them and not for you type of thing. And I get what Democrats are thinking about doing, right? But I got to say something about this. I think that's weak sauce. I think that's weak. I don't understand why Democrats don't have any backbone. It has long been overdue that Donald Trump and his minions, with their bully mentality, it's been long overdue that a Democrat, not physically, but punch these bullies in the throat. It is time to stop living within these parameters of what the political sphere used to be. We need to focus on what it is now. Punch them in the throat. And what I mean by that is Donald Trump likes to inundate the media with a bunch of crap. And they're always talking about it. It's about time, Democrats. I don't care if you've got to pick one or two or three or whatever, Jasmine Crockett, AOC, whatever. Step up and talk about this dude like a dog. I mean, talk about him like a dog. He smells like, paint thinner. He looks like he has Down syndrome. I don't care what you say. We got his information from the school and we verified he's a bona fide idiot. He got all F's, even if you don't got the information. I mean, force the hands of everything. Put it in the media. Let them chase it. And while they're chasing it, Donald Trump is not even getting no attention. That will hurt his feelings if you're getting attention talking shit about him and nobody's paying attention to him. Every time they mention his name, reporters ask him questions that have hurt his fucking feelings. I mean, do something. Bully him back. I'm getting tired of Democrats being bullied and all they do is we're going to continue doing the same things because, they're just off. No. You can take some of y'all and do that. But I'm going to tell you right now, I don't want you representing me being that weak. I'm not saying you got to do anything outrageous, But the reality is you got to do something. Because today, the DNC, I think it was the DNC chair, his name is Ken Martin. He came out and he was on Simone's show today, right before I came on. And he said something. He said he had 4 things, but he only named 3. I guess he was running out of time. And she was like, and I was down with what Simone was saying. Simone was like, yo, look, you Democrats, what are y'all going to do? Some people say y'all should do something drastic and what say you? And he said, there's stuff we can do. And he's right. He said, the thing is that, Democrats are not going to entrust us at all if we don't do anything. If we just do weakness, they're not going to want to vote for us the next time around. And he said it was some special election coming up in I think in April. He said, we got to win that and stuff like that. So we should be focused on that. So she asked him what should he do. He said, well, one, voice is power and we need to stand in solidarity. Okay. Speak up. We got Jasmine Crockett saying, fuck Elon Musk. I love that. Love that. And then we got, them coming on every once in a while, her, AOC, Chris Murphy coming out and telling it like it is. But I'm like, where are the leaders? Hakeem Jeffries. Disappointment. I don't got nothing against you, bro. Period. Love you and all that. But when it comes to this, you're not equipped for this. It seems like you're not equipped for this. You're equipped for following, robotic orders. We are going to, sue somebody and we're going to do, shut up. I'm tired of that. Do something outside the box. You can't continue doing the same things, bro, and expecting like a different outcome. Democrats have been doing the exact same thing over and over again with Donald Trump. They think that just coming out with the facts is going to destroy it. It doesn't. You got to play them at their own game. I'm not saying lie. No, I'm saying tell the truth in spades. Call him an idiot. Say that the man couldn't tie his shoes if you started him out with both fingers and told him all he had to do was this. He still would fuck it up. Say something. Don't just sit there and just be like, oh, well, we're going to go. No. So they were talking about, what strategy they're going to do for this joint address to Congress on Tuesday. And one of the ladies said, well, a lot of us talked about not going. And then she said, well, the strategy for that would be once it starts and we're not there, they'll just fill the seats with Republicans. And so it'll look like that all of us agree with what Donald Trump said. So that's not really a good strategy. I said, okay. So you guys have been thinking of something. You just haven't figured shit out yet. Well, let's see if they do figure out some shit. Because just with her analogy, I was like, we got some weak people in position. Because if you want to show some solidarity with us as Americans who are against this man and this regime, against all of that, I could easily give you something. And the thing that kills me, maybe they're going to do this and they're just not telling anybody, which would make sense because you don't want them to know because they have something in the wings. So we're going to wait and see tomorrow. But if they don't do this, I'm going to be highly disappointed in the Democrats. But here's my thing I think that they should do. Here's what I think they should do. Before I hand that to you, I'll tell you to subscribe to the show, become a member if you can, and support as much as you can. I appreciate it. Anything you can do to support the show, I appreciate that altogether. I always have, whenever I get or receive gifts, I'll either, once I reach a goal, we'll have I'll host a Q&A. So I'll answer any questions that you may have of me, as long as it ain't too personal. But anyway, I have a Q&A session if I ever reach these goals. All right, and we started here. Where's this at? Right now. If I reach this goal, we'll have a Q&A. If not, it's okay. We'll do what we got to do. All right. So I'm going to go over what I think they should do. In this situation, I think that not Donald Trump, but the Democrat Party should automatically all go. All of them go. You're going to say, how is that fixing it? How is that working anything? I said, just hear me out, because you know I'm going to say some fucked up shit. I said, they should all go. Every last one of them should end up there in attendance, in solidarity, right? To represent the people, okay, as this man speaks. Now, while they're all there, you know this man can't resist lying, right? He's going to lie. They should also go, like one of them said, and bring some of these people who've been fired by Donald Trump, that were hard workers and their lives have changed. Make sure they bring a lot of Republicans that are pissed. That's who they should bring in the wings. Republicans that came to these town halls that are shitty and want real questions asked and answered, okay? Those people should be waiting in the wings. They should be able to be outside of this room or have a special room for them to be in. Once the joint address to Congress starts, the minute this fool lies, every last one of them gets their ass up and walks out. It's going to take some time for them to walk out. It ain't going to be easy. It ain't going to be fast. Walk slow as fuck out the room. Why? Because it's going to take the media away from him. They're going to be looking at all these Democrats file up, get up out their seats while the Republicans are clapping about some lie that he said, and they're going to walk out one by one by one. Have a press conference while he's still outside. It's while he's still inside talking. Have a press conference. Take up the media again. Not only just be cordial, say some real fucked up shit about him. So if you got to get Jasmine Crockett to do it, then have her do it. So this man is senile. He messed up 3-4 words in there. Something's wrong with him. You see how long it took him to get up there? If you ever smelled him walk past you, Lord, have mercy. How can a man that stinks so bad lead a country? I don't see how Zelensky shook his hand, because his hand always smelled like ass. Keep it going. And then you can have your Hakeem Jeffries coming out and say, we came out in solidarity and I am a robot and I will say the shit that you want to hear. You can come out and have him do that if you want. But then say that we care about the American people and what they're doing is breaking laws. This man should be arrested. He should not be in there giving a speech. And then after that, bring on those Republicans and answer questions. Hold your own little town hall right then and there. Answer their fucking questions. What are you going to do? There's nothing we can do. You voted for this man. But what we're going to do is every day stand up and call him out. They got the numbers. But what you can do is get back into your Republican-led areas and start finding people who aren't like this man. Have some Democrats there too as well, talking about what they want to have happen. When you have these Democrats and Republicans who are both at the same time pissed off at Donald Trump, that's a whole other news story that's going to be in the news for a minute. Then ask these people, did anybody pay you? Did anybody pay you to be being pissed off at Donald Trump? Did you get any money? Because you know they're going to say that you guys are paid. Did we pay you? No, we didn't. Not at all. So why are you here? Because I lost my farm. I lost this. I lost that. Donald Trump's a liar. Bow, bow. One after the other. Bring about 40 of them sons of guns there. One after another. One after another. One after another. The news is going to take them except for Fox. because they don't got tired of Donald Trump's lies. Keep that up. Keep that up. Don't let up. Every day, have at least 2 to 3 Democrats always putting shit in the news. Every day. If you have to rotate them when they get tired, do it. This is a strategy that these Democrats need to have to disrupt this man. Because trust me, that fool's going to be texting. He's going to be pissed at nobody. What are you doing? They're disrespecting me. They won't fall in line. He'll freak the frick out. And when they start doing that, then start having Republican-only protest. All the Republicans that don't like Trump, we're going to have a protest on Wednesday, but led by Democrats. Start taking this man out with his own people. Start telling his people the shit they have in store for them. You know, this last bill this one they just passed or whatever, this budget or whatever it was, it didn't include anything that Donald Trump said that he was going to do for them. No tax on tips, nothing. You wouldn't know it. You got people on social media that are Trumpers sitting out here saying, look, he's going to get us tax on tips. And was it in this bill, this budget he just passed? Did he pass it just now? They think he did. He did not. It's nowhere in it. Why aren't Dems talking about that? Why aren't Dems saying that? This is the part where Dems are failing. Even the things that Democrats can do right now that could at least get us kind of motivated to support them, they're sitting on their laurels and every once in a while saying something. Social media is strong, y'all. Why aren't all these people on social media giving it to Donald Trump? Why aren't they making news? You know who? I can't remember his name right now. I really can't remember his name right now. I want to. Maybe you guys do in the comments section, but I'll tell you in a second what I'm talking about. I forgot his name. There's a black brother who he pulled the fire alarm or something like that. That's the one they didn't vote back in. That's who we really need. That's who we need right now. That's the man that ain't going to follow the rules like they like to want to play the follow the rules. And that's the man that's going to talk enough shit to get everybody kind of up in arms. They need an attack dog, and that man was it. That man was it. If you remember basketball, that man would have been the Dennis Rodman of politics. All up in your face, disrupting you, pissing you off. And all you can do is just talk about it. Talk about it. He should be the person right now lightning to Donald Trump, left and right, everything about him. Disrespecting him on a day-to-day basis. Every decision he makes, tell him how terrible it was, how he doesn't know anything, how he can't keep a thought in his head. Every time he speaks, he fucks up. Keep saying it over and over and over. Inundate the news with it. And he will freak the fuck out. You'll break him. Trust and believe. You'll break him. I'm telling you, this is how you break a bully. Bowman, yes. Thank you, Maggie. This is how you break a bully. Jamal Bowman. This is how you break a bully. You keep punching him in the throat until he starts responding. Then you keep doing it till the point where he can't respond. See, Donald Trump has a lot of things. He tried to say jokes. He's not really even good at it. It's just that the Republicans and Democrats are weak people. They get all hurt and get into their feelings and shit. But if they were really like attack dogs and was able to defend themselves. See, like when I grew up, there was a thing. I grew up in Indiana, so we called it joning. Other people call it snapping, whatever it may be, whatever you call it. They suck at that. And Donald Trump is he ain't even good at it. He makes them look great. He makes himself look great with them because none of them can do it. Now, Jasmine Crockett, the bleached blonde, bad built, butch, whatever, body chick, she's good at it. And she should be having some of those terms for Donald Trump. That type of thing where he sucks at it, that's what she needs to be doing. Every day, calling him something. Big body, whatever whatever she's going to go at, and keep on doing it. Day in, day out. Go viral with it. Have people look at him and laugh and say, oh shit, that's whatever is about him. Something that he can't get rid of. His hair, he's going to keep it. So you can talk shit about that. His eyes, the way they slanted and shit, because he looked like he got Down syndrome because he didn't had so many like face surgeries that he's getting older, starting to show. Because his body's going back to normal, looking like he got Down syndrome. Yeah, you should go at him. Go at him. He talks shit about everybody else. He can't handle it if you talk shit about him. So that's how we're going to get that done. Democrats, if you hear me, your best bet is to all show up. Show up. Okay? And then bounce one by one. Take time away from his show. It's going to be all live, baby. Which means he's going to have to shut up and wait for you to go, or he's going to sit there and try and talk over you while the cameras are looking at y'all file out one by one by one by one, and take your time walking out. And I don't know if you can bring something inside there, but I know you can wear certain colors. Find a color that means something. I don't care if it's black meaning like death. I don't care what it means. Something. Solidarity with each other. If you have to wear a patch of black on the side, like when people in sports, when someone's passed away, and have democracy written on it. The death of democracy, as this man speaks, something. So therefore that people will be talking about you tomorrow. What was these badges on your arms about? They won't be talking about what the fuck he said. Take away the oxygen in which makes this man breathe. Attention. You take that attention away, this man will break. He will fucking flip out. He won't be able to think straight. He barely can now. But he gets off on the fact that he thinks he's the top dog. Let a woman beat his ass. Whew. It ain't gonna help none whatsoever. Every one of these Republicans gonna try and come out and say something. Ain't none of them got no smoke for Jasmine Crockett. And even if Jasmine Crockett don't have shit, we as Americans need to start sending her shit she should say. Here's something about him. Something about his back, something about his hips. His ankles are thicker than whales. I mean, come on. Do something. This man got super thankles. Something. Keep it going. Wear the colors of Ukraine, somebody said. Wear the colors of Ukraine. That too. That too. Telling y'all. Anybody this man finds to be whatever, and then Jasmine Crockett said, fuck, right? Call him Putin's bitch. Oh, please, 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 please call him Putin's bitch. Please do it, Jasmine. If you see this, call him Putin's bitch. You know, if you make short clip videos, say like what Shaq said about Kobe when they was mad at each other. Say something to the effect of Donald Trump. How does what's his name's whatever taste? I ain't gonna say that but that's what Shaquille said about Kobe. He said, Kobe, tell me how my taste. Say that shit about Donald Trump. Your breath smell like the back of Putin's nuts. Keep on going at him. When you do that, this man will break. He will break. That's a woke mindset. Fuck Donald Trump on the t-shirt. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But yeah, that's what they need to do. And when they do that, I promise you, they'll be coming to him, talking to him stuff. He won't have a straight thought in his head. Not only that, every day, I'm telling you, every day, 4 or 5 of y'all come out with a tweet. 4 or 5 of y'all come out with a tweet saying disrespectful stuff about him, disrespectful stuff about Elon Musk, just highly disrespectful. I don't care if you got to talk about his family members. Go at him. Nobody, and I don't care about that, family members are off. No. When you fucking with democracy, your mama's on there for me. I'll find shit about his mama, Elon Musk's mama, and we'll talk about her. Why? Because Gloves are off. This is not politics normal. This is not politics that by any means of a stretch. I'm telling you, by any stretch of the imagination. You got to understand something, ladies and gentlemen. It took 8 months for Hitler to take over Germany. 8 months. We're 48 days into this man doing the exact same shit that Hitler did. I know some people are like, oh, don't talk about that. Because, oh, shut up. No, this is reality. I'm not going to hold back because it's not politically correct or whatever. Fuck that. If you learn the history of what Hitler did and how he did it, how he got to power, Donald Trump is doing all of the same things. Nothing different. It's the exact same thing. So if we don't do this, if we don't consistently he can't stop, us in the public eye coming up with something about him every day. We need to say something disrespectful about this man every day. You know how we do in the comment sections of some videos? Man, shit. Internet always wins. We need to do that every day so that the media is consistently like, damn, this is what they said. And we need politicians that are willing to take that and actually repost it. That way we have an engine of consistently disrespecting this dude. As if we don't, democracy is dead. I don't care what you said. Right now, democracy is on life support. The things that this man is saying and doing, the government which he's dismantling illegally, and it's like nobody can do anything. Nobody's holding him responsible. It's insane. Let Obama do 1/1,000,000th of what this man is doing. They would have him in Gitmo. They would have him in Gitmo if it happened. And it's not happening to him. And to me, we got to do something about that. So that's what I'm going to do. And so I'm going to start just making like a diss track of this dude. It ain't going to be like on no record or nothing like that. I'm just going to try and figure out things to say about this man on a daily. That's highly disrespectful. I'm going to put it out there just quick. I'm not even on Twitter, but I think I'm going to get back on it just to have nothing but shit to talk about Donald Trump and Elon Musk and all of them. JD Vance just consistently saying negative things about him. Yeah, Bamboozle was talking about, remember when he was talking about Donald Trump, but President Obama's tan suit. Never mind the fact that Reagan wore the same tan suit, colored tan suit. Never mind the fact that the president prior to Obama, Bush, wore a tan suit. It's like, where did you get this tan suit stuff from? You had a problem with a tan suit? Then why didn't you have a problem with it when the president prior to him, Bush, who ran us into the ground, he wore a tan suit? Reagan wore a tan suit. I don't know all the people who wore a tan suit, but I know at least 2 other presidents. What's the difference between Reagan, right? What's the difference between Reagan and Bush and Trump and Obama? Obama's black. They made it seem like no white man, no president ever in American history would be indignant enough or whatever, like disrespectful to the United States to be wearing a tan suit. And I'm like, idiot. News stations have footage from years and years. All you got to do is type in President Obama or President Bush tan suit to see. Did he wear a tan suit? Oh, he did. Damn, can't say that. Now that is either 2 things. They knew the other 2 had wore a tan suit but still was being racist as fuck, or they didn't know and didn't do their homework and call themselves a news organization. It's insane, y'all. We live in an upside down world. Yeah, the birtherism, bamboozled. Yeah, definitely. It's insane. But those are the things that I would do if I was, a Democrat in office. That's what I would organize to do. If you guys don't understand what to do to Donald Trump, then you need to hire somebody who is a consummate, um, like a person who goes against it, like a comedian, Jeff Ross, right? And that's the guy that's always on these roasting shows, a white dude. I forgot his name. I think it's Jeff Ross. You need to hire a roaster to give you things to say. I mean, non-stop. Post it. It's going to be funny. People are going to laugh. And every time they see Trump, that's when you want them to kind of have that feeling, because whatever he does it. Like the man's always on lean, not the drug or anything of that nature, but his body's always leaning forward and shit. Why? Something's wrong with his brain. Make fun of that shit. He would have no problem making fun of anybody else. He made fun of a guy who was handicapped or disabled. Make fun of his ass. Trust me, it's the right thing to do. It's the right thing to do. I didn't see Saturday Night Live this past week, so I got to check it out. Bill Burr has been doing good. Yeah, Bill Burr. So they need to do that. So I'm going to give you some things that I did research on, some things that we can do as people. Like I gave you something for the Democrats to do that are in the House, and they're going to be at this joint chief of, not joint chief, with this joint address to Congress. Gave them something to do. Now, for us, let me see if I can find it. There you go. As citizens, we got some things that we can do. Give a few things that we can do, and I think I kind of mentioned them a little bit. This is the last thing I'm going to talk about for the show today. As Americans, there's more of us than there are of the rich. There's more of us than there are politicians that are supposed to support us. So we have to find what drives them. Economics for power and things of that nature. As you see, many of these Republicans, and I would not doubt Democrats, some of them would do the same things. They're just not in the situation that they're in right now. But Republicans are going to these town hall meetings and getting their ass lit up. And instead of actually respecting these people, one of the guys literally got up and walked out and then tried to say, again, this is what they're good at. And the news capture this, and they don't pay attention to the people that they were talking to, right? The people that they were talking to in the audience, the citizens. So the leader leaves, and then once he leaves, because they're asking him all questions, they're like, I'm a Republican, I'm not a Democrat, and I feel bad for the military people. Another guy says, I know you like the military people, so how are you letting this happen? Because a lot of these military people are losing their jobs, and that's just not right. And so this guy kind of like, oh, I got a phone call and this, that, and the third, and I got another meeting to go to. And it's like, dude, it's an hour. You're supposed to be here an hour. You're leaving early. I don't give a fuck what phone call you got. You know what I'm saying? You're for us. We got questions to ask, and you gave us an hour, and you leaving beforehand, because he can't handle the fact that before everybody was sycophants. Everything that these Republicans, when it was coming out, they was listening to them talk and like, yeah, we believe in you. And they weren't asking questions. They were just in their little cult thinking that everything that these people were saying was true. They didn't challenge their soon-to-be leaders that they were voting for. They didn't challenge them. This dude, all they had to do was say whatever the hell Donald Trump told them to say, or what they thought these people wanted to hear, not knowing that they were never going to give them what they wanted to hear. They were just told what they want to hear, and that was it. Now that the things are happening that Democrats, independents were saying were going to happen, now they got questions. A little late, but better late than never. Now they got questions, and these leaders have no answers but to walk out, which is pissing them off. Like I told y'all before, you keep on pissing off people, especially these Republicans, because, again, these Republicans, no disrespect if you are one, but if you start to see these people are not very, like, I wouldn't say smart, not at all, but they lead with emotion. That's how you get somebody to do what they did January 6th. Their brain was turned off. Their emotions were turned on 100. Right? So when these people are losing their jobs, talking about the military, people that we're supposed to respect, and they thought that that these Republicans cared about the military. When they start to realize these people don't really give a fuck about them, they already getting loud. They're gonna start throwing shit next time. You know what I'm saying? As this progresses, throwing things, then they're gonna start fighting. Because after they're not being heard for a while, you think January 6th people aren't going to turn on them? These people that sat out there was wanting to do January 6th, was too scared to do it, but they got so far as to get close enough and champion the people who were doing it. Yeah, you had a lot of people that chose not to do it, that sat out there and chose not to stop it either. Those same people, when during that thing what Donald Trump did in January 6th, nobody was losing money. None of them were broke. You know, they could have been poor, but I'm saying that none of them were like broke because of this election. None of them were losing like jobs and shit because of the election. These people were trying to save their democracy, their vote. A vote is free. Think about what happens when these people start losing money, losing jobs in mass. Think about what happens when we start not like making a lot of money in this country because we still got stuff that's going out of this country, and these tariffs start to go, and these companies are going to start charging more, and they're going to be paying their employees the same amount. You ain't getting a raise, even though they're getting more money. You're not going to get a raise. So now you got to make whatever you got stretch. And then those who are getting these tariffs and they start to lose their farms, they start to lose some of their small businesses because they can't afford it. And these loans start to have high interest. And we start to the economy starts to sink a little bit. People start losing money in the stock. Oh, it's going to be a wrap. Somebody going to Luigi somebody. So just trust and believe as you wait this shit out. If they don't start answering questions and making these people feel good to some degree, oh, it's going to be a powder keg up in there. And you can trust and believe that. And it's not just going to be Republicans, because Democrats and Republicans are going to finally come together on one topic. They hate the man that's destroying their life. They built these monsters, and they thought they could control them. So much so that they're fucking them over right now, and all they're doing is getting mad. And they're afraid of that. They're leaving on it. So there's some things that while they're doing that, these Republicans are dissenting. All of us, we can start doing things as well. Now, one of the things that I mentioned earlier was that what we need to do is, let me see if I can see right here I got. We need to go ahead and do a few things. Now, there are already programs out there, like I said before, that I'm doing one of them is the targetfast.org. But I think it has more on that website of different stores outside of Target. I haven't been on it since it started, but February 28th. But I've been doing it since February 28th. I ain't bought shit from Target. I ain't buying nothing. I ain't planning on it. I've totally kind of like exit out of my mind other than talking trash about them. But these organizations like Fox, OAN, I know many of us don't watch them anymore. Hardly any of us. OAN, Newsmax, all that. Turn them on for a hot second if you're going to watch clips or whatever. Turn them on a hot second, watch one of the shows. Document all the advertisement that's coming on. Those are the brands you don't want to touch, and you want to make videos about them. I'm not touching them if you're supporting this trash. Not doing it. Not going to happen. When they start to see money, it's amazing how greedy they are. They don't have to lose all their money. See, like for us as a citizen who's, making some good money or barely making any or living check to check, just a little money lost, and we're like, oh shit, I got to do what's right. You would think that a rich person who's got extensive amount of money, if they just lost $1 million here or there or 500,000 here or there, they would have no problem with it. No, they are greedy. They feel just like you do with $1 million though, or $1 billion though. They don't want $500 to go away. They don't want $5,000 per month to go away. They want to build on that to become trillionaires and all this other shit. So they have a different, you think they were different than us in that sense. They're not. They're way worse than that. If we had $1 million or just in a bank right now and we was paying our bills with what we was making, we'd be on easy street, relaxing, chilling. You don't even care about it. Going on an island, having a good time. You know what I'm saying? We can take care of it. But really rich, greedy people, They don't want anything. They don't want to lose anything. That's why when you have a boycott for a week or two, they start making concessions because they know once something starts to grow, if you don't address it, that shit'll stay forever. Just like an advertisement, they'll show you something over, like McDonald's will show you a burger over and over. You may not see that commercial. It might take 35 times to watch that commercial before you buy that burger. They spent millions of dollars for you to spend 10, right? The same situation happens in this scenario is that they're going to continue. If we stop buying, they know after the idea of a human being, like our habits, it takes anywhere between 7 to 10 days, up to 2 weeks to change your habits forever. So if you stop shopping at Target for 2 weeks and you've been able to live without it, you start to understand, I don't need it. And when you do that, you lost a customer pretty much for life. They know that. That's why whenever you go on like a 1-day situation, if they respond, it tells you how greedy they are. If it just lost 1 day, they're like, okay, we're going to change our mind. You know how greedy they are and how much they may have to lose. If you do it for a week, they'll flip out. Do it for a month, it's a wrap. First of all, it won't last a month because, again, 2 weeks is the extent of it for the most part because 2 weeks, you become a habit. And at that point, you live without it. You're losing customers forever. When they have a customer, if you know anything about business or sales, there's something called LTV. Starbucks does it, McDonald's does it, every company does it. LTV. And what that stands for is lifetime value. If you buy a Starbucks, if you buy like a $6 drink, right? And you're a customer and you bought it once and they got your information, you get a card, whatever, they got your name, they got your address and all stuff like that, or email or whatever. And they'll send you emails and they're keeping track of how much you're buying. If you buy once and you like the drink and come back, they think of you as a lifetime. So if you're going to buy 6 and you buy one every week, they're thinking about, okay, the lifetime may be 15 years they may think of, right? So that means in 15 years, they're going to constantly come to us at least once or twice. So they multiply that and they see how much you're worth as a customer. So if you go to Starbucks once a week, or let's say you go 5 days a week, lifetime value is how much you spend for those 5 days for how many years they think that you're going to stay. Now, if you kind of ban, like what they did, we started banning during the Palestinian situation, the war. When you started banning that, they started feeling it. So much so that Starbucks is closing down, I don't know how many hundreds of stores. That time frame in which people stopped buying it hurt them. And then again, those who did that are more than likely at another coffee shop right now. That lifetime value is gone. You got better coffee somewhere else. Because trust me, you may like a coffee right now, but if you go find another coffee spot around your crib, around your house, 2 weeks of drinking it, that's a better coffee than this one that you've been drinking at Starbucks, because it's just a situation of a habit that you like their type of brand of coffee. But I promise you, there's another coffee shop down the block from you that makes better coffee. You just will never go because you're stuck on Starbucks. But if you do this and quit it, you can start taking away from it. I'm just using Starbucks. So what I'm saying is, whatever we see on Fox, on OAN, and I'm going to start watching, I'm going to start recording them so that I can fast forward, because I ain't watching the shit. Fast forward and be able to see what commercial comes up, what commercial come up, what commercial come up. Then I'm banning each one of these companies verbally. Even if I don't shop there, I'm going to say I'm going to never shop there, because you never know if I was going to shop there, in the future. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's baby products. I don't care what it is. I'm going to write a list on all these companies so that we stop using these companies that are supporting people who are trying to do this. And we ain't got to do it just with Fox. We also got to do it with organizations that are supporting Trump. These billionaires, find out what they are mostly invested in and stop using that product. Tank that stock, sell that stock, whatever we got to do to get them out of there, because they don't give a shit about you. And it's about time you start giving a shit about making them wealthy. They need us to become wealthy. It is our shopping habits that is making these people astronomically wealthy. And we have to figure out, break our love of these brands and go with the with companies that aren't like the biggest thing, but they have better interests for the American people. When you do that, you'll shut them down and effectively get them not temporarily shut down, because they'll go back to their own ways. You got to understand something. These brands, they only stop because they get hurt financially. They'll go right back to doing it once you're not paying attention. They'll snap back to being the assholes they were to begin with. Just know that. So that's the part in which, we're trying to work on. I'm going to read some of these comments here in a minute, but also you're dealing with the consumers. Like I said, with Fox, you're going to start social media. We can talk about that. We're getting rid of like Fox revenue stream. I'm going to be focusing on trying to get rid of everything Fox. Everything. I don't care what programs come on Fox, who produces with Fox. I ain't dealing with it. Specifically for me. These are not things that I'm asking you to do. I'm just telling you what I'm doing. You can figure out whatever you need to do. But as a citizen, these are the only things we can do. Our Democrats aren't doing anything. Whoever's supporting Democrats that aren't doing anything, start banning whatever the hell they're selling. You'll notice that these people literally react to pressure. So at the same time that I talk about banning people, we also need to start, for those people who are being defamed by Fox or, the advertisers or anything of that nature, if you find a lawsuit against Fox, join it. Start suing Fox if we find things that are something that we can sue for as citizens. If they're lying to us, if there's any laws, I don't know if there are any, but if there are any laws that they're actually defaming somebody or doing things like that, join in the lawsuit. I don't know. I'm not a lawyer, but my thing is figure out ways to sue them to oblivion, because they just pay for it. They try to get it off the books. So if they break a law, if you're a lawyer, keep finding out laws that American citizens can possibly have a class action suit against, sign against it. Here's the thing, people. We don't have to win. It ain't about winning. We ain't gonna be like, we could be suing for a lot of money, but it ain't even about the money. It's about destroying the propaganda wing. So what we're gonna do is, and that's what I'm thinking in my head, continue suing them over and over and over again. And again, we don't have to. We got to find out the class action suit stuff we can do, but continue to do that. Another situation of being able to tear them down. We got to have some kind of pressure campaign. And again, the most effective, more or less, the cheaper way to go about it is really just to stop buying the products and buying them somewhere else. I don't care if you buy them from Toomey, or not Toomey, but was it Temu, whatever. I don't buy stuff from there because a lot of I bought something there before and it was just junk. Just total junk for me. It fell apart. So I wasn't about to do it. So I don't do that. But whatever you buy from, do that instead of buying from these organizations. And I'll continue to look for them. And when I find some, I'll definitely make a video about it and say, hey, don't buy here, don't buy there. I'm not. Just stop buying soil, just dig from the ground, from the yard. Yeah, you're going around everybody's yard. What you doing? Nothing. Why you digging up my tree? Nothing. Don't even worry about it. That's funny. That's some funny stuff. But anyway, but those are some of the things that we can do. I'll continue to look up things that we can do attacking those particular functions that are always out there trying to destroy us in the news media, the Fox News, the Newsmaxes, the OAN. We have to also address the cable companies in which these people are getting paid from. Any company that offers you Fox, whatever the heck it is, with a package, whatever, turn that shit down. If you are a person like me who decided that I was going to get all my content from internet and social media, I canceled my cable. I was like, nah, I don't want none of that. You can keep it. I'd rather read books. I'm not going to put money in your pocket. Some people are addicted to it. I get it. I was when I was younger, but I realized I'm not going to be supporting people who don't support me as a person. You know what I'm saying? So those are the things. And I got a bunch of other things that I need to work on, but just bringing those things up to you. You can do them on your own if you choose, but and you can figure out your own things as well, what you can do. But the people are going to have to force this. The Democrats don't have the power, but the people still do. And the things we can do in organizing these individual bands, marches for the people, things of that nature that disrupt. And Democrats, leadership Democrats, consistently fuck with Trump. Stop just sitting there playing it. Stop. Don't listen to what's that guy's name? The older guy. He helped Clinton run for president. I keep forgetting his name. An older dude, just said some of the most outlandish things, but he told them to basically sit back and just chill and watch the Republicans destroy themselves. I'm like, yeah, bro. I get your strategy. You've been in this game forever. I get it. But we ready to fight, bro. We ain't ready to sit back and just let things be as they are. As I told you before, Hitler took over Germany and made power in 8 months. Donald Trump is doing the exact same strategy. I'm not going to sit back for 8 months and hope that these idiots out here are going to turn on him and eat their young. And then if they don't, our country turns into freaking, a dictatorship. I'm not relying on people to just get fed up with him. It's been 10 years and they haven't been fed up with him. So 9 or 10 years. So we really got James Carville. Thank you, Rube Interplanet Janet. James Carville talking about don't say nothing. I mean, shut up. Don't even talk to me. You was wrong the last time. He's still wrong now. But he said they weren't gonna win. I'm like, and I understand that she didn't. When she had 3 months, okay. Kamala Harris had 3 months and raised $1 billion, better than anybody running for the president in 3 months in history. So you can't take that away from her. She can't help, that people voted against their own interests. The things that she was saying actually were plans and strategies. What Donald Trump was saying was bullshit. It had no teeth to it. It was what was in that Project 2025 is everything he really believed. All the other shit was just fluff. If you notice, everything he was on the stump talking about is nothing about what he's doing for these people. Give you a tax on tips. You realize how and I'm going to leave after this, but you realize how he got that tax on tips thing. He heard it from a waitress. He listens to the people of what they want, and he tells them what they want instead of offering them what they want. Just tell them what they want. Oh, yeah, you want a tax on tips? Yeah, no tax on tips. Oh, wow. Then somebody said to him, you know that they're having problems with groceries. Groceries. That's a word, huh? Never heard of it. Then he gets on the air, and after the election's over, he said, you know what I want on this little thing called groceries. Like he was telling us something we had never heard before. On this little thing called groceries. I mean, who would have thunk it? Saying groceries. Who would have thought that? Just saying groceries was going to make it happen. He just told these fools what they wanted to hear in words. He gave it words as to why he became president. Not actually that he was going to fulfill his promise. Groceries was why I won. Just a little thing called groceries. And not the fact that this man had no plan. It is what it is, ladies and gentlemen. But as always, I try and bring the facts. I'm a little rough with it. I don't want to bring it to you like everybody else does in simplicities, and I bring it to you factually, but the actual real life understanding of like how it's going to affect our lives. It's not like, this stuff is not going to mess us up. But again, where's the solutions? If anything, Democrats, we see what this man is doing. We've been reading, for us who are learned to some degree, we've been reading on everything he's doing and like doing research and finding out like what does this lead to, and has any other leader ever did this in the history, not only in America, in the history of the world. And I promise you, if you do that, I can chat GPT about what he's doing. It'll bring up Hitler. It'll bring up every dictator. They follow the same plan. And I'm like, so what is the counteraction to that? How can we defeat this before it turns into that? And there's only so many pillars that have to fall before Donald Trump has turned this country into a dictatorship. And I know it sounds like hyperbole. It really isn't. The things he's doing to destroy the government, going in and tearing things up, and then realizing later, oh, we needed that? Really? I've never known. Again, if you never realize what white privilege is, people, if you're white and you say, what is white privilege? Or if you're any other race and think that, what is white privilege? Look at Donald Trump. This man has broken every law that we've known of, just about, other than unaliving somebody. And I mean, he did that, but he was a president, so he's legal. But still, he's done everything under the sun as a citizen and broke laws left and right, felonies and all that. And if this man was any other color, if he was black, if he was Asian, if he was Latin, any other color, this man would be under a jail. Not in it, under it. Yet, they elected this criminal. And they place him in the same arena as any other president. And I'm like, dude, this is the worst president ever known to freaking man. No president can. I mean, even the ones who were slave owners didn't come in with the type of shit that he had. We weren't even considered humans back then. They didn't do this to the regular people who were voters. We couldn't vote back then. But regular citizens, they haven't done this to. And he's doing it left and right. I don't understand it, but hey. Exactly. He's a real DEI hire. That's what Bamboozle said. Before we go, I want to thank those who supported the show. I appreciate you. Of course, Benny Loco, I appreciate you. Just saying, thank you for the gifting, the 5 Straight Facts No Chaser memberships. Crimson Spice, thank you. I appreciate you for your for supporting the show. LFG America, show them will not eat their. Oh shit! All right, I got you. Save Wit, thank you so much for the support. Front and center, listening, cooking dinner. You cook dinner? What you have for dinner, Benny Loco? Hit the thumbs up and share everywhere, y'all. Thank you. I appreciate you. Wanted to give y'all some love. Thank you for my members as well. And the subscribers. I can't do it without y'all. I'm going to try my best to keep everything in my life factual. I do it whether somebody feels good about it or not. I know I'm going to offend some people because telling the truth breaks a lot of people's hearts and minds and souls and spirits and all that. But just know, even when I tell you the truth and it hurts you, I'm doing it out of love because I love the truth. And you should too. Because if you base your life around the foundation of truth, even when it goes sideways, you'll know that you have to run through that hell to get on the other side and have a little bit of peace or whatever heaven you may be able to find. Hell is going to come your way. Ignoring it, lying about it, it does not disappear. Facing it and defeating it and getting on the other side of it is where success, happiness, and joy is at. Lying to yourself, you're never happy. Even if you fake it, you'll never make it. Tell the truth, face it, deal with it, get on the other side of it, be a champion for truth, and things will get better for you. But if you live in a lie and that bubble bursts, there ain't nothing you can do about it because you're the one who brought on that wrath into your life. That hell is something you invited into your life. And that's why you hear all these people complaining about Donald Trump, and we're like, look, you invited that hell into your life. Had you just dealt with the truth, went through a little pain, you wouldn't be sitting here wondering where your next meal is coming from. You would have voted for your best interest. And right now, you'd be sitting at home thinking about what steak I'm going to eat, what's on TV, instead of worrying about whether you're going to be fired tomorrow or whether you're going to be able to afford eggs. Deal with the truth, whether it hurts or not, and you can turn it around for your best interest. But if you're dealing in fantasy, you can never find your foundation on fantasy because fantasy shifts. It's not a situation that whatever's in your mind is the reality as opposed to what the reality is. So that's why I do what I do. I'll read some of these comments real quick before I get out of here. Just so. It says it's okay to offend sometimes and it's okay to be offended sometimes. We've grown when we learn. Come on, just saying. Speak that truth. What is it? Earthkeeper. Oh, you're talking to Bamboozle. Dan Marceau. What's going on? Okay, got to go. Thank you for turning me into this channel. Take care, Dan. I appreciate you stopping by. Vinny Loco said I stopped buying eggs. I don't blame you. I'm telling you, it's cheaper to buy chicken. It's cheaper to buy chicken than to go buy eggs. Chicken gonna become a commodity. Chicken gonna be like gold. How many chickens you got? I said, got 47. In a small apartment. Yeah, but I haven't bought eggs in a long time. All right, just saying, take care. Thank you, Monica Meadows. Love everyone. Got to go eat. Till next time, take care. Enjoy. I gotta go eat too, so I'm about to get up out of here. Y'all have a good evening, and I thank every last one of you for supporting the show. And I'll see you tomorrow around 5 p.m. as well. Hopefully the news. Well, tomorrow I don't know because that's gonna be the what is it called? The joint address to Congress. So I might not be here. I might be live just watching that and listening to it with y'all and then having commentary about it, but it won't be like this. I just hope that the Democrats have something that they're about to do to take away Donald Trump's thunder for tomorrow night. Please do something, Dems. If y'all do nothing, man, this is sad. This is sad. You guys are getting beat up and taking it. You need to stand up and be strong. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you guys, I hope you guys have a great night. Be safe. Enjoy your food, Monica. I'm about to get something myself. I'll talk to you guys later. Much love.